Welcome to Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, food, relationships, and mental health. Our weekly co-hosts are Dr. Delvena Thomas, Imani Warren, and Chef Irie. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky Gelin.
Hey y'all! Happy Hump Wednesday! It's your girl, it's Nicky G. Nicky says YOLO. And welcome to another episode of MIA Magazine Presents. So we have a special edition show tonight. If you've been watching my stories and my posts, you'll have an idea of what the show is all about. But first, let's thank our sponsors. So a shout out to the Florida Lottery and the New World Symphony. Okay, now back to the show. So, Ready to Love Miami is looking for their next cast for their next season. Now, I did a poll last week, and I wanted to kind of get a feel of what Miami was feeling as far as finding that love, being single, and just getting a vibe of the whole dating scene. So my first question was, who's single and living in Miami? And y'all, do y'all see that 86%? 86%. My next question was, let's show the next question. Are you ready for love? 86% said, yes, I am ready for love. The next question is the Miami dating scene stale? Y'all, at 86%, y'all said it was stale. And then y'all left me your messages and your feedback and all that good stuff. Now, the other question was, are you between the ages of 30 and 50? And 100% said yes. So this tells me that y'all are ready to settle down. And I am super excited to announce tonight's featured guest. She is the Ready to Love Miami casting associate producer, and her name is Ms. Audra Bryant. Audra, thank you so much for being our guest tonight.
Hey.
Based on that poll, girl, yes, Miami is definitely ready for love.
Oh my goodness, Miami, we're going to have to get it together. We're going to have to get our love stat, okay?
For real. So let's get right into it. Now, before we get into the good stuff, now you're a Detroit native.
Yes, I'm originally from Detroit.
Look, I know it's cold up there. My brother goes to Michigan State and what is it, Lansing. So I'm pretty familiar with the whole area now. Okay, so you're now a casting producer. Yes. How does that happen? How did that come about?
So I moved to Los Angeles early on. I moved out here at like 19. I came out here and I was just like, all right, I want to get into the entertainment business. I was very focused in that regard. And it's very interesting. When I was at my internship at the time, and then I met someone. They said, hey, Steve Harvey is doing this new show. This is back in the day. So I don't want to tell y'all how old I am, but this is back in the day. So he was doing a show, and it not one of his TV shows, his scripted shows, but he was doing a more like reality-based show. I'll just say it. Steve Harvey's Big Time back in the day.
Okay.
But yes, he was doing that show, and they were like, hey, they're looking for producers. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that is. And they basically said, okay, this is what you need to do in order for you to see if you can possibly be hired. And I said, you know what, this is an opportunity. I'm going to do this. And I had to find talent. I had to find a variety talent. So this is the days before America's Got Talent. So I had to find talent. And that's what I did. I just was like, let me figure this out. And I figured it out, got hired, and worked on the show, and that was like my intro into TV production.
Oh wow! Okay, so basically, you took the opportunity. You said, "I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it work." Yeah, that's exactly what you did. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And so now, being a woman of color and being in this industry, like, what's the journey been like?
It's very interesting because you don't see that much of yourself, even though technically, yeah. Even though it was actually a little different because I was working for Steve Harvey's Big Time. So there was a lot. There was a lot, he hired kind of within his like crew, so to speak. So he had a particular crew and it was diverse still, but you saw a little, it was, it was some melanin up in there.
Okay,
And
good.
so, yeah, I appreciated that. And so that actually was a great way to start. And then moving forward, it was a situation where, hey, you're not always going to see that. You're not always going to see yourself reflected in the staff as much. But you still do what your work. You still do you and what you come to do, and you do it with excellence. And I think a lot of it is just about connecting with the right people. And at the end of the day, the good part is I think when your work speaks for itself, that makes a huge difference. And people like to work with people they like to work with, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if you bring some good energy, people are going to want to bring you back, and you make it happen. You put it down. People are going to want to bring you back.
Yeah. So you left a good impression. You left a good impression.
I did my best. But
it worked. So what are some projects that you've casted or some shows that you've casted?
Yeah. So outside of Steve Harvey's Big Time, I cast, I did 6 seasons of America's Got Talent. I did Temptation Island. I did Put a Ring on It. Now I'm doing, Ready to Love, and a lot of shows in between there, just so much. I took a little hiatus from it for a couple years and then jumped right back into it. But yeah, I've done a lot of different shows, a lot of different networks.
Very inspired. Yes.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, okay. So what is Ready to Love all about?
Okay. So for those who have not seen the show, Ready to Love is a relationship show. That is what it is. It is a relationship show. It is a place where, I mean, if I'm going to describe it, it's kind of like you have 20 singles, 10 men, 10 women. You put them all into a space together. They're dressed to the nines, and they have to interact. They're getting to know one another. And so with that, you see people make connections, organic connections. And they're making organic connections, but also there are people you may not connect with, right? And so there's a process of elimination where the production is not eliminating anyone. The cast eliminates a man and a woman every show after every episode, because it's, maybe they just didn't gel with the person, that kind of a thing. Is no shade on anybody, but that's kind of the process of elimination. And at the end of this show, you see people who, wow, it's mutual. They're dating and trying to check everybody out. Like, okay, am I good with you? Are we good? Are we have chemistry? But then at the end, they find somebody that they have chemistry with, and it's mutual, and it's a beautiful thing.
Right. There's that connection, that universal energetic connection that sparks. Exactly. And they know it's like, okay, you may be the one, you may be that soulmate I've been looking for. Okay.
Exactly.
So how did you become involved, or why did you become involved with this franchise?
I'm going to be honest. It's like, I'd heard so much about the show, and then I watched the show because I have friends who watch the show. It's like, girl, this is my show right here, and then you hope that you come across as a producer, you hope you come across an opportunity to work on a particular show. So I happened to come across an opportunity where somebody is like, yeah, I'm casting for this show. And a lot of times it happens because I was working for another show, and they're like, hey, would you like to come over to Ready to Love? And I said, yes, absolutely. So I jumped on, and It's been really, really great. I love this concept of helping people find love. I
Mm.
think that, I think that's satisfying in many ways personally, because I think whatever you sow into the world, you tend to reap in your own life. And so helping people find love, I think is what's better than that.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
like, for you, it's even deeper. For you, it is genuinely about that connection. It's about really digging deep and helping those two people find love. So, like, it's beyond the lights and the camera and the whole, reality TV kind of space. Like, it's actually genuine. It's from your heart. It's pure with the
Yeah.
intention.
Now it really is. But let me tell you, because I talk to the people. Here's the thing. I get on the phone with people and I talk to them. We have conversations about what's going on. And, you do the very best that you can to make sure people are really in a space and they're really being genuine. And so I do the best that I can. And then if I release it, because somebody might reach out and be like, child, now this don't seem authentic. And I'll be like, look, I have to deal with my own personal integrity, and I'm going to do the best that I can to make sure that this is a show that that I submit people I feel like are genuine, right? And then, but when people get on TV, you never know why people might submit if they're really, really ready for love, because that's the thing too, is that with love comes a lot of vulnerability. And not everybody is in a space that they really want to be that level of vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? That vulnerable. So I do the best that I can to find the people that are really genuine.
Yeah. So I did see the first season in Atlanta.
Okay.
So how many seasons are there as of right now?
So right now we are looking at we're looking at we're on the fourth season that's airing right now. So we're at the second round of the very last show that should be out on Friday. And so that's season 4, and then we have season 5 coming in Miami. With
Okay.
season
Well,
6.
that's a great segue to the next question. So,
Okay.
Reddish Love Miami. It's happening. The next season is happening.
Yeah.
So why the Sunshine State?
Well, I mean, y'all fly. Y'all know y'all fly. Look at you. You fly. I'm looking at you. I'm like, girl, okay with the flyness. Well, we like to go places where it's like cities with energy, that we feel like we can really connect, people, because this show is very big on connecting people who are professionals and all of that. And it wasn't my selection, as in personal selection. That trickles down from the top. But I personally believe it's because y'all fly. And like, who doesn't want to be in Miami? Who doesn't want to see a season from Miami? Okay. So that's what I personally believe. Nah, it could have been something else, but I think it's because y'all fly.
Oh, well, we'll take that. So on behalf
Okay.
of Miami professionals, we will definitely take that. So,
Yes.
so what kind of candidates are you looking for?
We are looking for professionals, people who are single and their ages 30 to 50. But like, and when I say single, I mean single. I don't mean like, you got a significant other every Tuesday, but it's Wednesday. And so no, I'm talking about for real single, and somebody that's actually sincerely looking for love. That is really, really important.
So, okay, so why do you think it's so difficult for young professionals between 30 and 50 to find love? Like, why that age range and why is it like a challenge?
I think the landscape of dating in general has shifted a lot. And I'll say, because I've been in all these chat rooms and dating, like I have to, this is the work that I do, so this is how I find people for the show, right? So I watch what people say, and a lot of times people say, well, I guess this concept of modern women, and it's shifting because women are now in a professional space in a way that, you know, maybe 50 years ago they weren't, 60 years ago they weren't. And so maybe that dynamic has shifted, and, you know, men might be saying, okay, well, what's going on? Like, you a boss chick now. I don't know what's going, you know, that kind of stuff. And then, you know, I think in general, people are a lot of like really career driven. When you're a professional, you're focused on your education. You're focused on really exploring your life and being very well rounded. And a lot of times that's traveling, your, you know, again, education. You want to get to a certain place in your career. And this is both men and women at this point. You see what I'm saying? So you put your love life on the back burner. And this is both genders, you know what I'm saying? Both men and women start to do that. These are talks that I actually hear from people on the phone, or when I talk to people and interview them. And, you know, so it's those types of things. And then some people have been married and it just didn't work out. And so now they're in a space where they're looking to try it again. And that takes a whole other level of, you know, self-examination and healing and potentially therapy to even get yourself to a space where you're open to love again. Yeah. So I think it's all of that stuff. Because, you know, when you get your heart broken, it's hard. It's hard to try again. So I want people to understand that, you know, I get it. I get it. You know, I'm a producer, but I'm also a person. I've experienced these things. And so I think Ready to Love is really an opportunity for the right people to who are ready, who've done the work, who've done a lot of work to get themselves to a space where they're open again.
Yeah. So it has to be a real connection that they're looking for.
Yeah.
It has to be like that their heart's in it, that it's genuine, and that they're actually really ready. It's not no like, you know, I want to be on TV kind of thing. This is real. It's real life, real emotions. There's real hearts at stake. It's everything.
Yeah. And, so, you know, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
No, go ahead. Finish. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I think if we understand how important, I think this show, one of the things this show does, because there's a vote off process on the show, because people can say what they want to say sometimes to a producer, right? And I'm just throwing that out there. You might say what you want to say to get on TV, right? I'm just using that as an example. But the good thing about this show is that when they're in front of the cameras and they're around the people and they're going on these individual dates and they're doing these things, the people they're going on the dates with are really learning the truth. How open are you really? So you kind of don't get to hide. And I think not that some people are trying to hide. Some people may not know. Some people might think, oh, I'm ready, but they're not as ready as they think they are. So that's why I say it is so important for people to come into this feeling, you know, feeling led to do it, if anything, feeling like, yeah, I have done some work. Okay, I really am open to be with somebody, you know, because that's what love takes.
Yeah, you got to be vulnerable. You got to make yourself vulnerable. Ooh, let those walls down. Okay.
Ooh, that is not easy either.
It's not. So I see the age range, it's 30 to 50. So why between 30 and 50?
Well, I think two things. I think that is kind of the show is on OWN, and that's kind of the demographic for OWN. But also I think when it comes to professionals and people, there's a certain level of experience that people have when it comes to love and relationships between 30 and 50 that somebody at 22 may not have. You know, at 30 to 50, you may have been married already. You may have children already. You may have done it, been there, done that, and you're trying to do it and get it right this time. You see what I'm saying? So I think that brings a certain level, a little nuance to the love and dating experience.
That's it. That's like the
love and relationship experience. Yeah.
Right. So Ready to Love Miami. Now, in order
Yes.
to be considered, do you have to live in a 305 or the 786? Those are the Miami area codes. So do you have to live specifically in Miami, or can you live in surrounding areas to be considered?
So this is the directive that you have to live within 1 hour driving distance of South Beach.
Oh, so
Yes.
that means Palm Beach County is included as well. Do you know Palm Beach County or West
I
Palm
don't
Beach?
I don't know all the places,
Okay. All right.
but
So
that
Palm
was
Beach
my
County.
directive. 1 hour driving distance from South Beach, whichever direction is fine. But absolutely, like I think we've had some people submit from like Fort Lauderdale, things like that. And yeah, so absolutely.
All right. So how can they apply?
Okay, so I want you guys to send your name, your age, and send me some photos. Email me some photos and send it to audracasting@gmail.com. So audracasting@gmail.com. Send that to me, and I want to directly, like, let's see what you got. Let's see who you are. I want to make sure, and then we'll take it from there. I want to make sure that you're seen expeditiously, because we get a lot of incoming submissions, and I want to make sure that you get prime consideration.
And it's 3 photos, right?
Yeah, you can send
Okay.
3 photos. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And so what advice would you give to those who are interested and they do submit their application? What advice?
I would say submit. You will get a response.
Mhm.
And say for instance somebody, I call someone, or we reach out to someone. A lot of times people feel like because it's TV that you kind of have to put on airs. You have to be TV-esque. And I say, especially for a show like this, that's not what we're looking for. We're not really looking for people that are just, oh, I'm gonna put on this. This is a different type of show. This is a show that really, really, really people thrive when they are authentic and authentically themselves. So when you're talking, it's just I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna get in your beeswax. So be okay with that. But I'm gonna ask you questions because everybody's experience is different. And I want to know what your story is. So nothing is like, oh, they're looking to hear this or they're looking to hear that. No. I could be looking to hear exactly what your story is, but if you don't ever tell me what it is, and if you're not honest, then it may not work. And wouldn't you want something to work or not work because you were being 100% yourself? Or would you want to try to be somebody else and then it doesn't work? And you're like, well, I guess I should have just been myself. So,
Right.
yeah.
So it boils down to just be yourself, be your authentic self. That's it.
Exactly.
So what is your hope for Ready to Love Miami?
I want Ready to Love Miami. I feel like you guys Miami has this energy and this reputation, I'll say, for being flashy. Got the cars, you got the bodies, you got all that stuff. I mean, this is just me looking from the outside in. That y'all are fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's palm trees and fabulousness. That's the energy and the vibe that just from the outside looking in that you get, right? And not necessarily that you may not feel that way, but from the outside looking in, a lot of times that's what it is. But what I would love is for this to be the season that is so like heart-centered and people really connect in a way that maybe they have it on other seasons, where it's like, but did you see that Miami season? You see what I'm saying? Like where it's so real, and especially in a city that it's like, okay, you got the Lambos and all this, you know what I'm saying? You think a music video, but like y'all are some of the most genuine and you find the most genuine connections on this show, that I would love to see.
Yeah, I know on the outside, the perception is that Miami is very sexy. It's tropical. It's palm trees and the beach and the ladies, very exotic, you know, and the men as well. And yeah, I mean, it actually is true. So that stereotype, that perception is actually true. So yeah, but it boils down to a real connection, finding that soulmate. So again, your authentic self, you have to be ready for love, let down those walls, and be vulnerable, and see what happens from there. So, wow.
Absolutely.
Well, we're very excited, and yes, based on the poll I did, Miami is definitely ready to love.
Oh yes, I'm like 86%. If y'all don't submit, if I don't go to my email right now and see 100 plus people in there, I'm gonna be upset.
Okay, y'all better submit. Tell your friends, tell your family member.
Yes.
There you go. So my last question is, what would you tell your younger self, and how old would you be?
What would I tell my younger self? If I'm just talking to myself, just pick an age, and I'm talking to her, right?
Yeah, just any age.
I would probably say, just to give you a little bit about me, this is a little personal stuff, and this is what I mean about being vulnerable and being okay with being vulnerable. Okay, so I'm a burn survivor. If you can see, like here, I was burned, and I have a scar on my chest as well. You can't see with the shirt on, but just a little bit about my story in a nutshell. I was burned at 18 months old, and I didn't look at myself in the mirror until I was 25 because I didn't want to see my scars. And so what I would tell my younger self, and maybe probably I started really, really getting like hiding and stuff like that, probably that I was very conscious of it around 5 years old or so. I would say, you know what, Audra, everybody has scars, some on the outside, some on the inside. So embrace your scars. It's okay. It doesn't make you less beautiful. You can still do and be anything you desire to be. You can still go to Hollywood and LA and still be successful. You can still do whatever it is you want to do.
Right.
Just believe that you can, know that you can, and embrace yourself now.
Yeah.
And go hard and be confident. That's what I would say to my younger self. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's such a powerful story that you shared about. It's a personal story that you shared with us.
Yeah. So. And I shared that for a reason, because I want to connect it to this show. A lot of times people have relationship scars. They have been through some things, and they're not sure if they want to try again. And so all I'm saying is that, hey, this may be an opportunity for you to try again. And so, you know, have confidence, believe that whatever you want, you can have.
Right. Yeah. And we get so caught up on like society and the physical appearance of how we should look. So we kind of hide those scars that we have because of being judged, you know? But no, that's so applaudable that you're able to just break free. I'm sure it's a sense of liberation now for you to just,
oh my gosh. Yes, to be myself.
Being myself. This is your story. This is hashtag her story. So
yes, absolutely.
Well, wait, I forgot to check the comments. We do have a comment here. It's from is it Nicky, and it's Odebayo. Sorry if I butchered your name. Forgive me. But she goes, thank you for coming to Miami. As a huge fan, can you please have a reunion of couples that met on the show and are still together?
Oh, I like that a lot. I think that would be fantastic. I will see what I can do, because I imagine that makes sense, that everybody's like, well, what's going on? I want to see all the after the show.
Love. Yeah, that's a great concept. Okay, so maybe you can pitch the idea, hey,
All right.
So-
I know, exactly.
And then Dexter goes, Audra, thanks for sharing your story. He says, thank you so much
Aw.
for sharing your story. So there you go.
Thank you, Dexter.
Well, Audra, thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking to you, and check your inbox. Y'all send the emails. You saw the emails. So go ahead and
Send them
submit your
on in.
application. Ready to Love Miami. Let's find your soulmate. All right.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here. I had an amazing time and I am excited about Miami.
Yes, me too. Thank you. Enjoy your Wednesday. And yes, we'll be seeing you in Miami real soon.
All right now. Take
right.
care.
You too. Good night. And y'all, so we have a few shows tomorrow. Tomorrow is Lunch with Legacy Leaders with Anne-Marie Serral. So visit Facebook. Her show is at 12 p.m. So to stream live, visit MIA Media GRP. And also Chef Irie with Flavor of South Florida. His show is at 7 p.m. So to watch those shows, stream MIA Media GRP on either Facebook or YouTube. So thank you so much for tuning in. Submit your applications. If you are ready for love and you meet all the requirements, it's right there. No excuses. Submit your application, and Miami, we'll see you next week, Wednesday. Have a good night.